Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of Hymn of the Week, a presentation of Bakerview Mennonite Brethren Church. My name is Kerry Dick, and I'm here with Harry Heidebrecht, and it's our delight to share with you another scripture passage, hymn story, and then the hymn itself in a few minutes. Well, the passage this week is one of the most precious and wonderful stories from Jesus that he gave us, that he told to us. It encapsulates the heart of the Father, the heart and story of the gospel, God's great love for us. And it's found in Luke 15. Jesus tells three stories of lost things or people or animals that were found. And this is the culmination story, the story of the son who was lost and who was found. And I'd like to read Luke 15, 11 to 24 for us today. Jesus continued, "There was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, 'Father, give me my share of the estate.' So he divided his property between them. Not long after that, the younger son got together all he had, set off for a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in that whole country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country, who sent him to his field to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. When he came to his senses, he said, 'How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.' So he got up and went to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' But the father said to his servants, 'Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and he was found.' So they began to celebrate." Harry?
Our hymn of the week is Softly and Tenderly, Jesus is Calling, by Will Thompson. The author and composer of our hymn of the week was born in 1847 in the town of East Liverpool, Ohio. After graduating from college, he studied music at the New England Conservatory and in Leipzig, Germany. Thompson came to be known as the Bard of Ohio. He began his career as a composer of secular songs, but had difficulty finding publishers. So he began his own publishing company, the W.L. Thompson Music Company, and the company prospered. His inspiration to write hymns came as a result of him attending an evangelistic service where he heard the evangelist D.L. Moody. Among his best-known hymns are 2 that stand out: Jesus is all the world to me, and Softly and Tenderly, Jesus is Calling. Moody and Thompson became friends, and his hymn Softly and Tenderly, Jesus is Calling was frequently used by Moody as a song of invitation in his campaigns. Will Thompson prospered, built a large home in East Liverpool, which survives to this day. It has since been renamed the Softly and Tenderly House. The hymn Softly and Tenderly was written in 1880. And verse 1 of the song parallels the story of the prodigal son, which we have just read. only now it is Jesus who stands at the portals, the entry of his home, waiting, watching, and calling for his wayward child to come home. He does so in soft and gentle tones. His words echo those of Jesus who said, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Later in life, D.L. Moody discovered this hymn was not only for others, but was for himself. There is another verse to the song that is usually omitted. It reads, "Time is now fleeting, the moments are passing. Passing for you and for me, shadows are gathering, and deathbeds are coming. Coming for you and for me." As D.L. Moody lay dying, his friend Will Thompson went to visit him for a last time, but was denied entry because no visitors were allowed. But when Moody heard his voice, he called Will and said to him, "Will, I would rather have written softly and tenderly, 'Jesus is calling,' than anything I have ever been able to do in my whole life." Weeks later, D.L. Moody went home to be with Jesus with the words of this song on his lips, come home, ye who are weary, come home." The hymn was also a favorite of Martin Luther King Jr. and was sung by the Ebenezer Baptist Church Choir at his funeral on April 8th, 1968. It has also become a favorite of mine. For in my childhood I often heard the gospel preached in harsher tones of sin and judgment, creating fear in my heart. But in reading the Gospels, I discovered Jesus never spoke that way to children, sinners, or outcasts, only to the religious leaders who had rejected him. How I wish I had heard the invitation in gentler tones. Softly and tenderly, Jesus is calling for you and for me, generates love, not fear. Fear drives us to Jesus, but love draws us to Jesus. Listen to the music as played by Calvin Dick and Raphael Brisebois, and follow the words on your screen for the hymn of the week, "Softly and Tenderly, Jesus is Calling," by Will Thompson.